Kevin rides a late-model Harley-Davidson Sportster, has for 6 years. Rides it to work 3 days a week on a stretch of Tennessee highway he's covered so many times he could do it half asleep. Last April, Kevin did everything right that morning. Checked his mirrors, wore his full gear, left early, merged onto the highway at a comfortable 65 and started his commute like he had 300 times before. At mile 4, his rear tire let go. Not a dramatic blowout, a slow, progressive loss of stability that Kevin managed with every ounce of 11 years of riding experience. He got to the shoulder, he kept it upright, he sat on the guardrail for 10 minutes before his hands stopped shaking enough to call his wife. When the tow truck driver looked at the tire, he said, "You can see this from 10 feet away. How long has it looked like this?" The tire had a sidewall bulge, a visible deformation indicating internal structural failure. It had been there for weeks. Kevin had never seen it because he had never really looked, not the way a professional looks at a tire before trusting his life to it at highway speed. The information that could have prevented that April morning was right there on the tire the whole time. Today, I'm going to make you the person who finds it. Here's the uncomfortable reality most American riders need to hear directly. We do not treat tire inspection like the life safety task it actually is. We walk up to the bike, glance at the tires, decide they look fine, and ride. Maybe we kick the tire, and I genuinely don't know what information we think that provides, then throw a leg over and go. That approach works fine for a carton of milk. It does not work for the 2 contact patches between your 500-pound motorcycle and the asphalt at highway speed. Here's exactly how professionals do it. Less than 3 minutes, every failure mode covered. Go through this before every ride. First, tread depth. Every motorcycle tire has tread wear indicators built into the grooves, small raised rubber bars molded into the bottom of the main tread channels at exactly 1/32 of an inch, the legal minimum in most US states. Find them by looking for a small triangle or the letters TWI on the sidewall, then follow it to the corresponding groove. If surrounding tread is flush with that bar, the tire is done. Replace it before your next ride. But here's what the wear bar system doesn't tell you, and what most riders miss entirely. Motorcycle tires wear in patterns, and those patterns tell you things. A tire worn smooth across the center, but with depth on the shoulders, has been chronically overinflated. Those shoulders may be so hardened from underuse that they won't grip in a corner the way new rubber grips. A tire worn heavily on the edges, but thick in the center, has been run chronically underinflated. Asymmetric wear, heavier on one side, points to suspension alignment or wheel balance issues. Read the wear pattern. It's your tire's report card on everything that's been happening to your bike. Second, sidewall inspection, the one that could have saved Kevin. Get down, physically crouch beside each tire and look at the entire sidewall, both sides. You are looking for 4 things. Bulges or bubbles, any deformation that looks like a blister. This is what Kevin's tire had. A sidewall bulge means internal belt structure has partially separated. The outer rubber layer is the only thing containing air pressure. It will fail. There is no safe mileage remaining on a tire with a sidewall bulge. 0. Get it off the bike today. Cracks or crazing, a network of fine surface cracks resembling old paint. Minor hairline surface cracks can be acceptable, but deep cracks, cracks that open when you flex the sidewall, or cracks across a significant area mean the rubber has hardened beyond safe service life. Age does this regardless of mileage. A 6-year-old tire with 8,000 miles can be structurally unsafe. Cuts or impacts, any slice or gouge in the sidewall. Unlike tread punctures, sidewall damage almost never has a safe repair option. The sidewall flexes dynamically with every rotation. A cut deep enough to expose internal cords means immediate replacement. Cord separation, visible as a raised line or ridge across the sidewall, or a soft spot that feels different when pressed. The internal cord structure is the skeleton of your tire. If you feel or see anything suggesting internal irregularity, the tire comes off.
Third, embedded objects. Roll your bike forward slowly to expose the full circumference of each tire and inspect the entire tread surface. Nails, screws, staples, wire fragments, glass. In American urban riding, debris pickup is a routine reality. What most riders don't realize, a screw embedded in the tread may not cause immediate deflation. The object itself can act as a plug. But every rotation works it slightly, enlarging the puncture channel. It will eventually fail, just a question of when and at what speed. Run your gloved hand around the tread surface, not bare skin, because embedded glass is findable with bare hands in a very bad way. Feel for anything that doesn't belong. If you find a nail or screw, do not pull it out. Removing it immediately deflates the tire. Mark the location, ride slowly to the nearest shop, and have it evaluated. Some tread punctures are repairable. A professional makes that call. Fourth, tire age. Every tire has a DOT code molded into the sidewall ending in 4 digits. The first 2 are the week of manufacture, the last 2 are the year. A tire stamped 2319 was made in the 23rd week of 2019. Find that number on both tires right now. The Motorcycle Safety Foundation recommends replacing motorcycle tires at 5 years from manufacture, regardless of remaining tread. Beyond that threshold, the rubber compound has aged to a point where grip, particularly in cold temperatures and emergency situations, is meaningfully degraded. This matters enormously in America's used motorcycle market. A second-hand bike might have tires with decent tread, but a DOT date showing 7 years old. Those tires feel fine at 45 miles per hour around town. They will not perform like new tires in an emergency stop at 65 on a highway. Check the date. If your tires are over 5 years old, budget for replacement regardless of how they look. 3 minutes, 4 categories: tread depth and wear pattern, sidewall condition, embedded objects, tire age. Kevin's April morning on that Tennessee highway was preventable. The information was there on the tire the whole time. It just needed someone who knew where to look. Be that person, every single ride. At 65 miles per hour, 3 minutes in your driveway is worth more than everything else you'll do that morning combined.
If this just changed how you look at those 2 tires, if you're already thinking about walking out to your garage and actually getting down on one knee and checking that sidewall the way Kevin never did, then hit that like button and subscribe, because this is exactly the kind of content we're building here. Practical, specific, the stuff that actually keeps you upright. Next week, we're going deeper. We're covering exactly how to read a tire's age, grade, and load rating, because that DOT code and those sidewall numbers tell you far more than most riders ever learn to decode. You'll know what the speed rating means for your riding style, what the load index means for your bike's weight, and how to make sure you're never again putting the wrong tire on your machine just because it was the right size. No more guessing at the parts counter, no more trusting that the guy behind the register actually knows your bike. Ride safe. See you then.